Kuala Lumpur is Malaysia's capital city and most populous global city in Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur also owns many spots that have been historical identity and as well as tourist attraction. Following are the top in the list. Kuala Lumpur City Centre, which is famously known as the KLCC, is probably the most famous and frequently photographed Malaysian landmark. This striking building was for a time the world's tallest at 452 meters. The best place to admire the construction is at ground level from a spot in the adjoining park known as KLCC Park. A trip to the Twin Towers could include visiting the giant shopping mall known as the Surya KLCC at the foot of the towers, the Petroscience Museum and Aquaria, which is an impressive oceanarium. The towers feature a sky bridge between the two towers on 41st and 42nd floors. The bridge is 170 meters high and 58 meters long. The same floor is also known as the podium, since visitors desiring to go to higher levels have to change the elevators here. Tower 1 is fully occupied by the Petronas company and a number of its own associate companies. The office spaces in Tower 2 are mostly available for lease to other companies. A number of companies have offices in Tower 2, including Accenture, Al Jazeera International, Bloomberg, Boeing, Exact Software, IBM, Khazanah Nasional Berhad, McKinsey & Company, Microsoft and Newfield Exploration. Just as its name suggests, there is only one way to describe KLCC, the heart of Kuala Lumpur. At once an entertainment, commercial and business focal point, KLCC is home to some of the most popular landmarks in Malaysia, making it a popular tourist destination. With a host of options to choose from dining, arts, culture, recreation, sightseeing, shopping and entertainment. The most prominent heritage building in Kuala Lumpur is none other than the Sultan Abdul Samad building, which is known as Bangunan Sultan Abdul Samad in Malay. The majestic building, built between 1894 and 1897, was the best-known landmark of Malaysia. Till today is one of the most photographed buildings in Malaysia. Located opposite the Independence Square in the heart of Kuala Lumpur, the Sultan Abdul Samad building has become synonymous with Kuala Lumpur, attracting local and foreign tourists as well as the heritage building buffs, as it thanks to its immense architectural, historical and cultural significance. The architect of Sultan Abdul Samad building was Arthur Charles Alfred Norman, or fondly referred to as AC Norman. The width of the building is 450 feet or 137 in meters. Meanwhile, the height of the clock tower is 135 feet or 41 in meters. In 1893, construction commenced and the foundation stone laid by Sir Charles Mitchell, who is the Governor of Straits Settlements. In 1896, the building was completed. The clock chimed for the first time to coincide with Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee Parade in 1897. Later, in 2007, the building left vacant when the federal courts and the courts of appeal shifted to Putrajaya. This followed with the moving of the High Court to the new court complex. The building has been accorded the status it well deserves when it was listed as one of the National Heritage in 2007 under the National Heritage Act 2005. It has been standing strong for more than a century, which is 117 years to be exact, without any substantial structural alterations. KL Tower. The Kuala Lumpur Tower, which is Menara Kuala Lumpur in the Malay, is another massive structure which is a high telecommunications and broadcasting tower. Built on top of a small hill, Its height above sea level is 515 meters and you can get the best views of KL and the surrounding districts from its observation deck and revolving restaurant. Its construction was in between 1991 to 1995. It is used for communication purposes and features an antenna that reaches 421 meters and the roof of the pod is at 335 meters. Its construction was in between 1991 to 1995. It is used for communication purpose and features an antenna that reaches 421 meters and the roof of the pod is at 335 meters. It was the 7th tallest freestanding tower in the world. The rest of the tower below has a stairwell and an elevator to reach the upper area just less than a minute. The KL Tower also contains a revolving restaurant providing diners with a panoramic view of the city. Races are held annually where participants race up the stairs to the top. The tower also acts as the Islamic Falak Observatory to observe the crescent moon, which marks the beginning of Muslim month of Ramadan to celebrate fasting month of Ramadan. The tower is the highest viewpoint in Kuala Lumpur that is open to the public. Kuala Lumpur Railway Station. The old KL Railway Station is one of Kuala Lumpur's most famous landmarks. Until the Petronas Twin Towers was built, the railway station together with the Sultan Abdul Samad building was among the most photographed symbols of the city. The station was completed in 1910 and designed by the most prolific and talented British colonial architect Arthur Benison Herbert. Working at the Public Works Department, he was responsible for many other iconic buildings in Malaysia, such as the Ipoh Railway Station and the Royal Gallery in Klang. The KL Railway Station was built with Mughal features such as the elegant catteries, dome-capped pavilions of Indian origin along its roofline. The station served as the city's main rail hub until the modern KL Central Station took over in 2001. The old station is still used for KTM commuter services. Some of its platforms were too low for KTM commuter trains and more modern extension with a separate entrance was built in the 1980s. Opposite the KL railway station is another Mughal-inspired masterpiece by Mr. Habak. It was completed in 1917 as an administration building for the railway company and it still serves that purpose. Its north wing was seriously damaged by bombing in World War II and again by fire in 1968. Independence Square, or which is preferably called as Dataran Merdeka in Malay, is located in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It is situated in front of the Sultan Abdul Samad building. The copper dome Sultan Abdul Samad building on Independence Square in the heart of the city is probably KL's most recognizable landmark. Together with its neighboring heritage buildings, this is one of the capital's top tourist attractions. This is the historical place where the Union flag was lowered and the Malayan flag was raised for the very first time at the stroke of midnight of 31st August 1957. From then on, Merdeka Square has been the venue for the annual Merdeka Parade. Literally Independence Square, it was formerly known as the Selangor Club Padang or simply the Padang and was originally the cricket green of the Selangor Club, which is now known as Royal Selangor Club. The field at the Independence Square's immediate vicinity was officially renamed Dataran Merdeka on 1st January 1990 in conjunction of Visit Malaysia year 1990. The Tugu Negara or National Monument was built in honor of the fallen heroes of the First and Second World Wars as well as the Malayan emergency from the years 1948 to 1960. You will be able to see words to our glorious date together with the years of the world wars and the period during Malayan emergency from 1948 to 1960. The cenotaph stands at the upper entrance of the Tugu Negara on a 7-stepped rectangular base. It measures 15 meters high. This granite structure was first built in 1921 to remember the fallen heroes of the First World War. The names of those from the Second World War and the Malayan emergency was added later. The cenotaph was first located at Jalan Sultan Hishamuddin near the old Kuala Lumpur railway station. It was removed from its former site to this site when the Tugu Negara was being built. The monument was designed by Felix de Weldon, who also designed the famous USMC Memorial in Arlington, Virginia, United States. The late Tunku managed to meet up with Felix and persuaded him to design one for Malaysia too. You will see 7 bronze figures of soldiers, each of which symbolize leadership, suffering, unity, vigilance, strength, courage, and sacrifice. 5 of the figures represent the victorious Allied forces, while the other 2 figures that lie on the ground represent that of the defeated communist forces. Overall, the monument depicts the victory of the forces of democracy, peace, and freedom over that of the communists and evil. Batu Cave. Batu Caves is a limestone hill that has a series of cave temples in Gombak, Selangor, Malaysia. The cave is one of the most popular Hindu shrines outside India and is dedicated to Lord Murugan. It is the focal point of Hindu festival of Thaipusam in Malaysia. Batu Cave, in short also referred as 10th cave for Lord Muruga, as there are 6 important holy shrines in India and 4 more in Malaysia. The 3 others in Malaysia are in Ipoh, Penang, and Malacca respectively. The limestone forming Batu Cave is said to be around 400 million years old. Some of the cave entrance were used as shelters by the indigenous Temuan people, which is a tribe of Orang Asli. Batu Caves was promoted as a place of worship by K. Tambusami Pillai, an Indian trader. He was inspired by the whale-shaped entrance of the main cave and was inspired to dedicate a temple to Lord Murugan within the cave. In 1890, K. Tambusami Pillai, who is also the founder of Sri Maha Mariamman Temple, Kuala Lumpur, installed the consecrated statue of Lord Muruga in what is today known as the Temple Cave. Since 1892, the Thaipusam festival, which falls in late January or early February, has been celebrated there. The first cave you encounter is known as Temple Cave, a massive cathedral-looking open area with a ceiling that's over 100 meters in height. The main path leads straight through this cave, passing a number of shrines on either side and finally reaching the next shorter flight of steps. After walking through the temple cave and ascending the final flight of steps, you'll get to the Lord Murugan temple. This temple is minimal in design but intricately painted and decorated with bright colors. The Ramayana cave is situated to the extreme left as one faces the sheer wall of the hill. On the way to the Ramayana cave, there is a 15 meters tall statue of Hanuman and a temple dedicated to Lord Hanuman, devotee and aide of Lord Rama. The consecration ceremony of the temple was held in November 2001. The Ramayana cave depicts the story of Rama in a chronicle manner along the irregular walls of the cave. The main attraction of Batu Cave is the 140 feet high statue of Lord Murugan. It is also the tallest statue of a Hindu deity in Malaysia, which also took place in the Malaysia Book of Records. The materials were used to build the statue was 300 liters of gold paint, which is imported from Thailand, and 1,550 cubic meters of concrete. The master craft by sculptors from India was unveiled in January 2006, which took 3 years to construct. It is also the tallest Lord Murugan statue in the world. With all this history and cultural belief behind it, Batu Cave has become the most visited tourist spot in Malaysia.